Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get all this stuff straight. Here we go. Bam. Welcome into the show. Sports with Balls, 9 a.m. Tuesday morning. Whew. What a Monday night football game. I guess if you're a Seattle Seahawks fan. What a day. Welcome in again. It's rainy over here in Houston, Texas. I hope it's a beautiful day wherever you are on this Tuesday, October the 3rd. Mean Girls Day. Yeah. There's such a thing. National Boyfriend Day. Girls, that's legit. Come on. I didn't even know that was a thing, but it is National Boyfriend Day. It's a day to let your boyfriend know how much he misses you. All the ladies listening to this show, go take care of your man. Whichever way you do that. I'm not saying anything weird. Just however you maybe dinner, who knows. I cook around my house, but that's just me. I'm Jeff Michael. This is Sports with Balls, brought to you by Christian's Tailgate. As always, 5 Houston area locations. Go to christianstailgate.com, find out where one of them is. Order food, go up there, get drinks. Great place to watch fights, games, everything. 40-plus televisions, beer pong. There's a Bills. There's a Buffalo Mafias. Christian's Tailgate every Sunday. There's a Dallas Cowboys one. Place is just awesome. Great place to go and watch football, fights, basketball. We'll get into the NBA today. Baseball, Major League Baseball playoffs coming up in few hours? About 5 hours from now. We'll talk about the Major League Baseball playoffs. Obviously, get into this Monday night football game. I'll go over some bets here in a little bit. Tell you guys how I did this weekend, which was okay. It was okay. There were some tough games this weekend. But we're going to find out. We're going to find out about who's who. Coming up, all right, National Boyfriend Day. What else we got on the docket? Let's see. Fruit at work. Kevin. If your name's Kevin, it's National Kevin Day. Yep, that'll about do it. National Boyfriend Day. Oof. All right, guys, Monday Night Football. Oof. Giant fan. You're not alone. Look, New York Giant fan, you're not alone. If you live in the city of New York, it is a bad, really bad last few months for you. Unbelievable, man. Jets, Giants, Yankees, Mets. Whoa. Just brutal. A brutal time to be a New York sports fan. I got a couple of them. I got a couple of my friends that are from New York. It is not a happy place for sports right now. With all the optimism going into the preseason, especially with football, you had Daniel Jones signing his $90 million contract. Aaron Rodgers, signing a huge contract in the future of the New York Jets and going to take them to the promised land. Man, both of those. Both the Giants and the Jets. Ooh. And the Yankees and Mets, huge payrolls. Not in the playoffs. I go Knicks. Go New York Knicks if you're a Knicks fan. I don't know, man. Tough time to be a New York sports fan. So sorry, you guys. Look, man. Better luck next year. Go for a QB in the draft. Speaking of, go for a QB in the draft. Daniel Jones. Oof. 27 of 34, 203 yards. 2 interceptions, 10 sacks for 60 yards. So I'm going to blame a little bit of this on Daniel Jones, but that offensive line is terrible. They've made bad choices in the draft. They just haven't panned out. The offensive line choices that the Giants have been doing haven't panned out. They just haven't. And you're seeing it. 10 sacks, a record for the Seattle Seahawks. A pick 6. By rookie cornerback. That was awesome to watch. Man, was Daniel Jones the leading rusher? He was. 10 carries, 66 yards, running for his life all night last night. Unbelievable. Seahawks moved to 3-1. Giants fall to 1-3. And stacked right here. The Giants have been outscored. I'm pretty sure this is correct. 60-3 at home. 60-3. The New York Giants at home. And pile on top of that, the Giants and Jets have yet to take an offensive snap with the lead this season. Oh, man, the optimism and hope for both those. See, the Giants went to the playoffs last year. The Giants won a playoff game last year. They should have waited another year with this Daniel Jones thing because, man, did they go on tank mode? I told you last week that the Jets should do it. You might have both New York teams going in tank mode looking for a quarterback. This is a quarterback-heavy draft coming up. The Giants, it's only $90 million. I know that sounds terrible, but it is only $90 million you signed Daniel Jones to. You could try him again next year. You need that offensive line to get better. The Giants are bad. They're a bad football team. There's no other way around it. Do they tank and go for a quarterback in the draft? You signed, Daniel Jones. Your wide receivers are iffy at best. There's not a whole lot going on. Saquon Barkley did not want to be with the team in the first place. You barely got him on. Woo! A situation brewing in New York with both these teams. Look, gambling-wise, it's great. If you didn't take Seattle last night, Seattle had 2 starting guys come back on defense. We didn't know they were going to play this good, right? But, man, I took Seattle minus 2.5. That was one of the easiest bets of the weekend. That was a layup. I thought it should have been 6 or 7 to begin with. They won by 21. This was not even a game. 14-3 at halftime, 21-3 after the third, and 24-3 after the fourth. The Giants mustered a field goal out of the entire situation. So brutal, brutal game. If you're fans in New York, again, Mets, Yankees, Giants, Jets, ouch. And if you don't like the New York Yankees, the Mets, the Giants, and the Jets, this is a cakewalk for all of you guys going to work and pounding on your New Yorkers. Woo! Kevin Anthony chiming in. As always, appreciate you, Kevin. Go Cowboys. Yeah, sorry, look, I couldn't get in the show yesterday. I was busy doing some other things. Look, Cowboys, great defensive game again. Showed up. I'm going to say this again about Cowboys, all right? It's Dak Prescott. Yes, is their defense good? Yeah, of course it is. Look at it. Is their offense good? I expected more from Tony Pollard. He's having an okay year. I expected a little bit more. We'll see. They have one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, Cowboys are number one. They got their butts handed to them in Arizona. So it is what it is. But welcome into the show. I'm Jeff Michael. This is Sports with Balls. Kevin Anthony chiming in. Look, if you want to get in, give me a call, 832-291-1112. Let's talk about it. This is only probably going to be a 25, 30-minute daily show. I'll try to run through this stuff pretty quick, man. Try to get through it pretty quick. Look, Hobuzz right here. This stuff is incredible. THC-infused seltzer. I had a couple of them this weekend. If you don't want to have the, hungover feeling of alcohol, this stuff is incredible. Give them a call, 832-929-4563, or go to hobuzzco.com. That's HOBUZZCO.com. Check this stuff out, man. It's really good. They got different flavors. Stuff's actually, it's legit. Not going to lie. It's some good stuff. Also, Wes Dunn over at WestonCG.com. Give him a call, 832-534-2374. If your fence is falling down, we got rain, we've got wind, all kinds of crazy weather in here. Give Wes a call, 832-534-2374, or go to WestonCG.com. Miss my boy Grant Houston doing that, but we'll move on. NFL, Monday Night Football. Everybody, hope you took Seattle. And speaking of Seattle, Russell Westbrook leaves last year. Broncos go 5-12. And the Seattle Seahawks are a good football team. Geno Smith. Look, he got hurt last night. Drew Lock had to come in, and play some quarterback. He has some knee issues, but, man, when it needs to get done, he gets it done. Kenneth Walker almost had a 70-yard touchdown run at one point. They had to call it back. Second play of the game? And they got Charbonnet. Charbonnet, is that how you pronounce it? Charbonnet? They've got him as backup to Kenneth Walker. Look, Seattle's a good football team. Are they tier 1? No. Tier 2? Probably. Definitely tier 3. But they're not 4 or 5. I like Seattle. Seattle's a good. Pete Carroll's done an amazing job. Pete Carroll's a great coach. He's older than Bill Belichick. I just want y'all to know that. All right, and Bill Belichick, that might be the first hot seat in the NFL coaching, which you never thought would have happened. But Pete Carroll's done a great job. They lost to the Rams the first game of the season, 30-13. First games are always tough. But then they beat the Detroit Lions, who look good. They beat the Carolina Panthers, who are not that good. And then, obviously, they won against the Giants. They've got their next 3 or 4 games. Check this out. Cincinnati, who, wow. We're going to get into the Bengals tomorrow and or Thursday. That is something's up. Something's wrong in Cincinnati. We'll get into that. Arizona, right after Cincinnati, Cleveland, Baltimore, Washington, and then they play the Rams again. Now, the end of their schedule is brutal. So they need to pile up wins, Seattle does, in the next 5 to 6 games. Cincinnati, Arizona, Cleveland, Baltimore, Washington, Rams. Because then it goes 49ers, Dallas, 49ers, Philly. Probably the worst 4-game stretch you could possibly imagine. That's brutal. But I think Seattle has enough weapons, and I think they've got enough talent. They've got everybody in the right positions to get to the playoffs. I like Seattle. I think Seattle's a good team. 2-0 on the road, 3-1 overall. Good for Seattle. All right, guys, moving on. Major League Baseball playoffs start today. Today. I know you're fired up about Major League Baseball. I mean, the thing is, I don't know how the ratings are going to go with baseball right now. I don't. You don't have the St. Louis Cardinals in. You don't have the Yankees in. You don't have the Mets in. You don't have the Boston Red Sox in. They might struggle on ratings. They may struggle on ratings for baseball playoffs this season. It's going to be tough sledding. Rangers and Rays start 2 p.m. today. Who's watching the Rangers and Rays? Outside of Dallas and Tampa Bay. I don't know. At 2 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon. That's not a lot. That's not a lot of people. Tampa Bay minus 155. Let's see. Who's pitching this game? Tampa Bay and the Rangers. Jordan Montgomery for Texas. By the way, Texas Rangers absolutely decimated at pitcher right now. Tampa Bay should run over them this series. And the Rangers had a great year. Their injuries piled up, man. They lost in the last game of the season to the Houston Astros. They lost the division. Squeaked in the playoffs, and now they play a very motivated and very fun to watch Tampa Bay Rays team. 99-63 on the season, and Tyler Glasnow going at it. So good luck, Texas Rangers. Right after that, hour and a half into that game, you'll have on ESPN the Blue Jays at the Minnesota Twins. And this is one of those games that I'm talking about where the Yankees aren't in, the Red Sox, the Cardinals, the Mets, those teams aren't in. Who's watching Blue Jays and Twins? Woo. Nobody. Sorry. The ratings for that game will not be high. It's on ESPN at 3:30. Diamondbacks and Brewers tonight. This should be an interesting game. Diamondbacks are fun. Fun team. Milwaukee's a good team. And then cap off the night, the Marlins and the Philadelphia Phillies. I like the Phillies, man. They're scrappy team. Bryce Harper, all those dudes. So, Major League Baseball playoffs start today. Wild card rounds. The Astros and the Orioles have days off, obviously, up until Saturday. And you've got the Dodgers and the Braves with their days off. Dodgers and Braves both over 100 wins on the season in the National League. I guess we're just waiting to see that matchup. That'll be a fun series. Probably the highest rated series in Major League Baseball playoffs. I can see that. But as far as today's concerned, gambling wise, I like Tampa. I like Philly. I do. That would be the teams that, I'm probably going to bet on Tampa and Philly. That's it. Blue Jays and Twins, that's toss-up. Diamondbacks and Brewers, that's a toss-up. I like Phillies at home versus the Marlins. Marlins, they're all right. Phillies at home, though. 49-32. Marlins 38-43. And I really like the Rays at home. 53-28 at home. Give me both those. Those are my bets for today. Kevin Anthony chiming in on some NFL. What you got? If Nico Collins on your fantasy and Stroud is available on the waiver wire, grab that MFR. I went to the Texans Sunday. Those kids can ball. Look, Texans, they did the right thing. Texans made a great move. And last year, everybody was cursing Lovie Smith. Last game of the season. He goes for it versus the Chicago Bears and wins, all right, knocking the Texans out of the number one pick in the draft, knocking them out. And we hammered him for that. Now, look. CJ Stroud is way better than Bryce Young. It's not even close. And Bryce, of course, like we said, he's tiny. He's going to get hurt. Bryce Young, yards per game, 167. CJ Stroud, 303. 6 touchdowns for CJ, 2 for Bryce Young. And biggest stat for CJ Stroud, through 3 games, 0 interceptions. He's up there with Cam Newton and Andrew Luck for most passing yards and first 4 career games. And Nico Collins, yeah, the wide receiver, you got Tank Dell. Those guys are good. This is a young, scrappy football team. And I was on the fence on CJ because of Ohio State. It's not that it's not notorious for quarterbacks. So I was really on the fence, man, but way to go. For right now, we've seen this story before, guys. So don't get too excited. The Houston Texans have seen this story before where they think they have their man. He's in Cleveland now, if you don't know what I'm referring to. So, look, just pull back the reins a little bit. Let's give this kid some breathing room, and let's see what DeMeco Ryans, new head coach of the Houston Texans, can do. Defense looks good. Their number 1 pick on D looks fantastic, Will Anderson. Texans have something brewing. Look, a glimmer of hope in Houston is the best thing that you can ask for down there. For sure, without a doubt. And CJ Stroud, up to this point, looks like he is the real deal. He does. And I have Nico Collins in my fantasy on, I think, 4 of my fantasy football teams. This guy scores points. And in fact, I'm starting CJ Stroud this week in one of my fantasy football leagues. And I think I have I think I have CJ Stroud, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, and Damian Pierce. And on one of my I had the entire Texans offense on one of my teams. So there you go. Kevin Anthony, thank you for the questions and for watching the show. Those of y'all watching on YouTube, watching anywhere live, thank you. Get the podcast. All the podcasts will be up right after the show. If you missed anything, just type in Sports with Balls on your podcast arena. It will be there. What else are we getting into today? Oh, Heisman Trophy. This is interesting. We thought Caleb Williams would run away with the Heisman Trophy picks. But then you had a kid out of USC, Shadir Sanders, looked great in the first 2-3 games. He's pretty much out of the picture, especially with the games coming up that he has. It was awesome to watch. But this kid, Michael Penix Jr. out of Washington, 2,008 total yards, 16 touchdowns, and 2 picks. Caleb Williams only has 1,600 yards, 1,686. 24 total touchdowns, though. Could have had more. And 1 interception. And y'all, listen to these quarterbacks. All right, just listen to these names. These are NFL-ready quarterbacks. And this is why I was telling you guys last week and a week before and even prior to the season starting about teams tanking. Should Chicago Bears start to tank too? Listen to this. Michael Penix Jr., Caleb Williams, Quinn Ewers, Jordan Travis out of Florida State, Jaden Daniels at LSU, Bo Nix in Oregon, Sam Hartman at Notre Dame. These kids are NFL ready. This is going to be an incredible NFL quarterback draft. So if your team, like the Chicago Bears, if there's a silver lining to what the Bears are doing right now, it's that they own the number 1 and number 2 pick next year. So if you're Bears fans, call it a day. Call it a day. Go for another quarterback. Because I got news for you. If this isn't breaking news, Justin Fields ain't it. Those are your Heisman watch list, guys. Unbelievable. Just college football in general. Awesome. Kevin Anthony says, I'm starting Stroud over Burrow this week. Yeah, man. Joe Burrow. Injury. I've been saying it for weeks. I have him in one of my leagues, and I'm starting Stroud over Burrow as well. There's something going on. There's something going on at Cincinnati. Maybe we'll save that till tomorrow. Might as well. All right, guys, look, if you haven't seen it already, Christian's Tailgate is the place to be right here, christianstailgate.com. I do live shows from there. 5 Houston area locations. Go find out where they are. They have the games, the fights. They have absolutely everything you could possibly imagine. Drink specials, beer pong. They have everything. Just go to christianstailgate.com. Find out where one of them is around you. Obviously, hobuzzco.com. This seltzer is good, guys. THC infused seltzer. It's the new craze. Give them a call, 832-929-4563. And Wes Dunn over at westoncg.com, 832-534-2374 for roofing, exterior construction, whatever. The guy will get it done. Give Wes Dunn a call. Wow. Did I just come up with a new slogan for him? Get it done. Call Wes Dunn. That's what I do. Let's see. Thursday night football coming up. We'll get into that tomorrow as well. But look, guys, want to thank y'all for joining Sports with Balls on this Tuesday morning. The podcast will be up here in a little bit, and I'm going to do this every morning. So you guys tune in. I'll take your questions. I'll take phone calls. We're going to have special guests, so get ready. I'm Jeff Michael. This is Sports with Balls.